Now we're going to go ahead and analyze another data set, and this time it is a Microsoft Excel file. So we're going to go up here to this is the start page, right? So we're going to go up here, click on Microsoft Excel, and we will open up the start page. We will open up an Excel file. In this case, we're going to look at unemployment statistics. Okay, so we're going to hit open. It's going to take us to the same page again, which is going to load the data here, and we're going to see what kind of data we have, and we just have the one table, the one sheet to deal with over here. So just going to go right back into sheet number 1. We've previously loaded or connected to office supplies, which is why it's showed up here, but once you connect to the new data source, that should be available right here as well, and you have all the measures and dimensions available for you right here. So we can go ahead and just kind of start analyzing different things, right? So let's go analyze period. So we're going to look at that, and we also want to see the number of unemployed, so I'm going to put it into rows. That's what we see in terms of just the timeline of years, as showcased up here, years, and then we get just number of unemployed per each year. But we want more granularity than that, right? We want more information. Tableau will kind of aggregate all this information together. So if you go up to analysis and check off this aggregate measures, you'll see that Tableau, let's change it to circles so you can see all the data, but you'll see that Tableau will kind of aggregate all these data points for you all together based on all the years right now, right? So it's all aggregated. Okay, it'll do that automatically, but this is not what we want to see. It's too much data for us to look at all of them. So we're going to go back to analysis and hit aggregate measures, and this should give us what it does right now is all the totals per each year. But that's obviously not what we want. We want to have a little bit more granularity, a little bit more understanding of what was the month-to-month rates of numbers of unemployment. So we're going to go up here and click on this one, and we don't want to select the stuff up here, the dates up here, because that will aggregate based on all the months, all the Q2s, right? So if we click month here, it just gives us all the data for January combined together. So it's aggregating in the wrong way. We don't want to see that type of data. So we're going to go back and we're going to click the month here. This actually gives us, it keeps the year and it segregates it by each month of the year. So if we click on that, this is the type of data that we want to see. Okay, it's the total unemployed, and maybe we want to segregate information based on, let's say, gender or age. You can do a number of different ways. You can take gender, put it to size, now I'll get different sizes based on male and female. That doesn't seem good, so we're going to switch it to color, and that gives us a better visualization of the differences in the color. We can also add age to this information, but if we put age in color, you'll see that it boots out gender. So now you get this kind of information based on age. But we want to keep age, and we want to have the ability to see gender as well, right? So how do we get both of these in here so that we can explore the data? A really good way of doing that is by using filters. So I'm going to go ahead and change the type of chart to an area chart. Okay, so we see this. I'm just going to move this down here. And we want to put age also into labels because we want to see some labeled information of that over here. So we see that labeled information. Perfect. Now to see gender, we want to kind of play around with the data. We're going to use filters, right? We're going to use filters up here. So what we're going to do is going to take gender, I'm going to put it as a filter. It's going to ask us which ones we want to include. We want to include all of them. So we're going to click OK. And it doesn't automatically show the filter, so we have to click here and say show filter. Now we have that information. Also going to take age and put it as a filter here again. It's going to ask us for all these things, and we're going to say okay. Age is here, it doesn't show the filter, so we got to click on it and then show filter. Now we have both of these filters up here, and we can play around with different types of customized ways to interact with this filter. Let's do slider, for example, on this top one. We'll do a slider. So this way it allows us to look at all the data and perhaps just try the different aspects of data, and we can see how that changes over time. Okay, so slider, this is the way slider works. If we want to change from slider to multiple value list, which is what it was before, we could do it that way. If we want to remove the all value here, you can go here and say customize and remove this check mark here. And maybe you want to apply different things here, right? Maybe you don't want to see the all value, you just want this to be kind of a selection between men and women. So to do that, you'd go to customize and get rid of the all value, and now you can just look at it men versus women and select the different age groups that you want to see and don't want to see, essentially, right? So you can kind of do it this way as well. That's the way it works. And once you're done, again, you want to go to File, Save to Tableau Public As, and then type in what you want to call it here, and then hit Save when you're done. And that should save your visualization to Tableau Public.